Okay, we're back. Hey folks, this is RotorStorm331, back to doing some more Final Fantasy VII beginner's guides. These guides will mostly cover stats and limit breaks for other party members. And we just finished Cloud, Barret, and Tifa, as well as Aerith. Uh, we did hers a while back, so we're going to be covering Red 13, who's essentially the jack of all trades of the party. So Red 13, like Cloud, can really use multiple Monty eras, especially magic and summon Monty eras, without really suffering any real true penalties. But Red 13 is pretty much well balanced among the entire party. So unfortunately, it does not have above average stats like Cloud does, unfortunately. But Red 13 can easily fill into any role that the party player decides to put Red 13 in, and he does pretty decent in most stats. There are actually a few where he doesn't excel. So as you can see, all party members did not get any stat boosting sources, and they don't have any equipment, as far as I know, that's boosting their overall strats. But we're going to go ahead and cover Red 13's overall stats and where they compare against other party members. Red 13 has the second highest HP in the entire party, ranking at second with 9,330 HP. He ranks fourth in MP with 833, sixth with a strength stat of 88. He's tied for first with Yuffie for having the best dexterity of 77. He ranks fourth with Vitality with 91. He's ranked dead last in terms of magic with 119. He ranks fifth on Spirit with 93, and sixth place for Luck at 28. So basically, Red 13 is probably your does pretty well in everything except for magic. It's kind of shocking that Barret has way better magic than Red 13, given the fact he's actually way better suited for mobile roles, thanks to his role as a jack of all trades character. Of course, having him and Yuffie as your fastest characters is pretty nice too. So that means he's actually pretty good to act as your healer. He doesn't really get a whole lot of benefits with later in the game, but he'll eventually start transitioning from using physical attacking to from magic to physical attacking, because unfortunately, once you get access to his ultimate weapon, Limit Moon, you will not be using magic as much because you'll definitely want Red 13 to maximize its damage with this weapon equipped. Of course, if you want to build up his stats, you could definitely give him this item right here, the Zydrark, which gives him not only a big defense improvement, but this also improves his strength and magic stats too. This can be done with any party member in general, but this is actually the fact you can steal three of these from Rude during the final parts of the game is pretty awesome. So Red 13 is pretty interesting because its limit breaks aren't all about sending up damage. It's actually some of these can actually boost him in the party in terms of overall stats. So he's actually got some pretty good limit breaks. Fortunately, he and Yuffie have the worst level 4 limit break. They're good against mobile foes, but are straight up terrible when it comes to fighting single targets, which is pretty much one of the reasons why you see more people use level 3 limit breaks with him rather than level 4. But around the time you do get Cosmo Memory, it's actually a pretty strong limit break earlier on. Not to mention, he and Yuffie and Aerith are the only party members in the entire game that get their level 4 limit break set during part 1. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and cover his limit breaks now. His default limit break is Sled Fang. This deals 3 times normal damage to one enemy. It's pretty much the same as Cloud's Braver, and it's a very useful attack, so I will just keep using it up until then for damage with Red 13. Lunatic High is pretty interesting as a limit break because after you use Sled Fang 8 times, this allows Red 13 to apply haste to the entire party. And one of the big catches is that if there's any other party members still alive, Red 13 gains a defense increase by 50% for each party member. So this actually boosts his defense up to 100% if all the other two party members are still alive. So this actually makes Red 13 a very good tank earlier on, especially with its very high HP. So his level 2 limit breaks consists of Blood Fang. You'll get this once you beat 72 enemies. This deals 1 1/4 times normal damage to one enemy. He'll also absorb HP and MP from that enemy he attacks, roughly up to 25% of damage dealt. So this actually gives Red 13 a means to refill his HP and MP during combat, but it's not a very good attack. Sled Fang is actually more stronger, but this is actually pretty good if you want to get your HP and MP back, if Red 13 is suffering both of those areas. Stardust Ray is his next level 2 limit break. You'll need to use Blood Fang 7 times. This allows Red 13 to attack enemies randomly up to 10 times, and this will deal 5/8 times normal damage. This will actually work more better against single targets, and especially with whatever weapon you got equipped to Red 13 if you want to maximize damage. But this is actually his better level 2 limit break for all intents and purposes. Not to mention it allows him to spread splash damage to most enemies. Level 3 limit breaks consist of Howling Moon. You'll need to defeat 72 enemies with Red 13 after getting Blood Fang. And this allows Red 13 to apply Haste and Berserk onto himself. And this also boosts Red 13's attack by 60%. It cannot exceed over 100%. Now, from what I learned from a friend of mine who plays Yu-Gi-Oh!, he told me that if you equip Ribbon on Red 13 and use Howling Moon, not only does that negate the Berserk status, but it also retains the 60% attack increase. So, of course, even if you use this again, this can never go over 100% for attacking. So this is actually a very darn good way to boost up Red 13, get himself haste, and get an attack boost, and then go all out with Earth Rave, which is his next limit break. And you need to use Howling Moon 6 times. This randomly attacks all enemies up to 5 times, and this deals 1 7/8 times normal damage. So this will pretty much be your limit break of choice in late game, since Cosmos Memory only hits 1 time. And this actually allows him to deal pretty high damage against one enemy, but this will allow Red 13 to attack all enemies up to 5 times. And finally, we got Cosmo Memory. You'll get this limit break after you defeat Lost Number and open the safe in the Shimura Mansion in Nibelheim. You'll have to look up find the answers to the lock combination, of course. But once you defeat Lost Number and get this, this will probably be Red 13's best limit break for most normal battles, but not very good against final boss battles during the final parts of the game. But anyway, this allows Red 13 to attack all enemies, and this deals 7 and 16 times normal damage. So this is actually a pretty darn good level 4 limit break in terms of overall normal time damage, but again, most limit breaks that you'll probably be seeing being used against Sephiroth and final bosses and whatnot are going to be level 4 limit breaks that hit multiple times. But it's still a pretty decent limit break, and the fact that he gets it pretty early allows him to wipe out enemy mobs pretty quickly. So anyway, that covers Red 13's stats and limit breaks for his guide. He's basically going to do very well regardless of whatever role. So if you need him to be a physical fighter, he can do that. If you need him to fill in magic role, he can do that pretty easily too. But anyway, I'm going to take a small break, rehydrate my throat, and get my thoughts in order and be ready to do Yuffie's next. So I'll be